What's up, everybody? It's Kaelan Moss and Therion Thacker here with the MinuteAdmin, and we are starting the timer on our AMPscript study session. And let's just go ahead and knock out the exercise. Let's just get this exercise completed, and let's just see what it comes down to. Because yesterday, Therion and I, we looked at the code. But the main thing I think we talked about yesterday, Therion, was just like how to really read the code.
Yes, especially the lookup ordered rows was our subject of interest. And then we went up to lookup rows. So we combined the two to really get a depth and a grasp of the knowledge surrounding both.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it was more so of a, hey, let's just learn the syntax so we actually come out of these sessions with some real knowledge.
Yeah, instead of just pushing buttons and typing words, let's really understand exactly what this is doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so like that was something I would say that would be something. I'm just going to share my tabs here now.
No, you're good.
We have give me 1 second. I'm going to close out some tabs because
no problem. I'm actually going to adjust my camera real quick.
Okay. So we're just going to go back. Okay, this is ampscript.io. Okay. So we have that. Oh, man. StreamYard is nice, man. Okay. So I'm going to share that. So we're looking at this tab, Cloud Learners, and we're looking at this data extension called Cloud Learners. We're going to look at the records. It has an ID column, name column, join date, email address, and active. And then we have this. I'm going to another tab I'm going to share here right now. We were at Cloud Learners. Now we're at Cloud Learner Beams. Now, can you see me switching anything? Can you see me switching tabs?
Show me again. No, I all I see is our DE right now, our data extension.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just flipping out because the StreamYard is so nice.
Are you just alt tabbing in between screens, or what's the function that's helping you navigate so quickly?
So there's a way to share your screen, and you can share the entire screen, or you can share specific tabs.
Yep.
And so right now I'm sharing a specific tab. Like I'm about to, I just went over to another tab. I'm at ampscript.io on my.
Does it allow you to keep that little navigation window open so you can quickly navigate from tab to tab, unlike Teams where you actually have to go like 3 menus deep before you can select the tab you want to share?
Yeah, it literally looks just like your Google Chrome.
Oh, that's sweet.
Just like Google Chrome.
Got you.
So I'm looking at ampscript.io right now. I'm in another tab looking at ampscript.io right now, and I'm about to press share this tab instead. Watch.
Hit it. Love it.
And you're brought over to the tab.
Quick. It's quick. It's seamless.
And then I'm over on the other side of my monitor, and I'm on the left side of my monitor right now. And that's over on the left side.
That's sweet.
So yeah, man, StreamYard is nice. So we are looking at this Cloud Learner Beams records. Okay. So that is looking at your Cloud Learner ID, Beams ID. So the two we're going to have up are going to be Cloud Learners, which is ID, name, and then we have Cloud Learner Beams right here. So then we're going to go over to, we're going to duplicate this tab.
Yep.
And we're going to go over to Content Builder. Because you can get to Content Builder in Email Studio or in just like regularly hovering over Content Builder.
Right.
And so we're going to go to this amp EO3 block, back. That's single send. We're going to go to edit, content. And we're in this bottom HTML block. So we have a top one right here. We have a middle one. And then we have a bottom one. So can you see that well? Can you see all the words?
Yeah, that looks good. It's very clear.
Okay. So we have, I'm going to zoom this out. We have set row incomplete, lookup rows, amp EO3 cloud learner beams, 3.
Yep.
Complete date descending.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cloud learner ID.
Cloud learner ID.
And give us that ID.
Because if you look at this tab, cloud learner ID.
And we take it over to the other one, which, boom, ID.
Equals ID.
Cloud learner ID to equals ID. Yep. All we're doing is verifying. We're just verifying that statement. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we have, that's the code block.
Okay.
And then over here in this tab, what's he putting for, I think this is exercise 3.
Yeah, it's exercise 3. So we're now yep, so 2. Okay, there's 2. That's our code block that we created above our high name. So that we should have already, I think we already created that, right? Above our high name. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so set at row equals lookup rows, amp EO3, cloud learner beams, cloud learner ID, set at beam 0, set at points equals 0, for at I equals 1 to row count, at row, then do this. If not empty, then field row, and I, or at I, return points, then do this. Set at beams, add at beams 1, set at points, and then we're going to equals add at points, field, row, at I, return points after we've done that calculation. And then end if, next, at I, %%. And then our high name. So we're good there. So that we've already created that. So now we can go to 3, which is our next block that I think we were working on before that we changed the 1, 2, and 3 of.
Okay, so then it's...
So that's all good. We've done that. So step 3 is going to be going into those 3 separate duplicate statements we created with the 3s. And I believe changing, let's see here, point. Let's see here.
Set row latest. And then look up amp EO3 beams.
Hey, Josh, good morning. How are you? Happy Monday.
What's up, Josh? Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you on this AMPscript study session.
All the time. Funny enough, Josh, my mom is staying with me currently in town for a little bit. And she's like, hey, did Josh join today? Because I always say, hey, Josh, almost every morning when you come in.
Awesome.
She's like, was Josh there? Oh, I love it. I love it.
Even mom's invested in
Yeah, mom's vested. She's eavesdropping from down in the basement. She's like, what's he saying up there?
Oh, my. Hey, moms are always listening, man.
Yeah, she's been watching our videos too. She says, I don't understand a thing you guys are saying, but it's great.
Dude, my dad said the same thing.
Did he really?
He was like, hey, I'm just joining so you have a streamer.
Right. I love it, man. I love it. Hey, support all the way through, man. Support all the way through.
Hey, you know, And we appreciate everybody who does get on here, whether it's our parents,
yeah,
or
anybody,
anyone.
Yep.
Because y'all see the vision, y'all see the support, y'all are our early supporters.
Yeah, early adoptions for sure.
For real, like
yep.
Think about when we look back on this 2, 3, 4 years from now, like, and this is like thousands of views. Yep. We're going to be like, nah, it was the people. I mean, not that it won't be like, we won't love everybody. It's just going to be like, it's crazy how like
Josh was there every day in the beginning.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day, man. That's
and you're
crazy.
right, Josh. Take it where you can get it, however it comes.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
For real. We appreciate everybody.
For sure.
Okay,
so what do we got here?
Okay, so this is 3.
Okay.
And then this is 4.
I mean, have we really Okay, so are we into 4? We finished 3. So we're into 4.
Uh-huh.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I can see that we're into 4 now. So remember, we're not really, counter means nothing. That's just what we've titled it, right? So set at that variable equals 0. Set at row incomplete equals this. And what do we have here? Lookup rows, AMP-E03 Cloud Learner beams, Cloud Learner ID. Okay, that's fine. Now for at A equals 1 to row count, at row incomplete, which row incomplete is basically checking what we just put in there.
Yep.
Do this if empty. So if empty, field row at row incomplete at A, which is our row counter, right? At A is our row counter, our loop. Return points, then set at counter equals add at counter 1. So at counter was 0. Now we're going to add 1 for each loop that applies if empty. Does that make sense? That's what I'm reading there.
Dude, that's crazy. That's okay. Keep going.
No, that's what I'm reading there. So, okay. So if at counter, which we set above, equals 1 or true, then spit this out. Hey, don't forget about these beams because it's empty. Okay. And then we're just doing our HTML work here, borders, blocking, everything like that. And we're just spitting that out into those blocks. So the most important part of all of this statement is the top half. The set for if empty, set if. So that's the most important part of this whole statement. What do you think, man? What do you think?
Dude, that's eye-opening, bro.
Imagine 1 week ago where we were, and I can stand here and almost read that to you after we've went through this.
In 1 week.
1 week.
We've only been doing this 1 week, dude.
Accountability and showing up.
Wow.
Yep. And we're having fun. Not at a single point did I dread having to learn the next section of code with you. Yep.
I know.
And I hope that's the takeaway for everybody else that watches this, is the fact you can take the most difficult of things and enjoy it with your friend or your colleague and break it down with your own humor. You guys already know each other. You know your learning styles, and you break through it.
Yeah,
I love it. Absolutely love it, dude. Being able to read that first section is phenomenal.
Hey, I was going through it and I was like, the way he's teaching it, I can see it happening in my head.
Yeah, I mean, because we've just been rotating, man, just going through this code. So it's cool to be able to do that, man. For sure.
It really is.
It's rad. It's rad.
So hey, I'm gonna try to get the second part.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so then the if statement ends.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go into cell padding this table.
Yep.
We're padding the cells now with 0 pixels.
Yep.
We have zero pixel spacing between the cells. The width is at 100%, which I'm not sure what that, I guess that means like 100% of the page.
Yeah, I'm guessing 100% of role equals presentation. I don't know HTML at all, so you're probably better at this than I am. So I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I'm just guessing right now. Well, I mean, role. I have no idea what role means.
Role equals presentation. So I mean, presentation is going to be what we're rendering, right? Is that I'm just guessing here, just shooting in the dark. And then we're going to now throw in onto our presentation our style, which is the next section. Okay, what do we got? Abstract roles, widget roles, document structure roles, landmark roles, screen.
Dude, just imagine learning HTML too.
HTML, I'm going to admit to you, it's still magic to me because it's still hard for me to conceptually put together that I can create beautiful graphics out of just numbers and code like that, right?
Isn't that crazy?
And you're talking about a video gamer. So it's hard for me to see conceptually that can create what we might be looking at in a beautiful email that I get, or whatever it might be. It's hard to see that.
Everything we're looking at on this computer.
Yeah.
Like whatever you're seeing on this page is HTML.
It is easier for me to understand AMP scripting than it is for me to understand HTML right now. Completely going to be honest.
You know what I've heard?
What's that?
I've heard that AMP script is kind of like HTML though.
Okay.
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe the top three, what do they say the top there's like front end coding languages and back end.
Yep.
I feel like our first front end what's it called? Like our front end language, we should know HTML.
Front end developer. Front end developer would be your title for this stuff. Yep.
But at the same time, be able to do the hybrid between, now we know AMPscript, right?
Right.
So that can go behind the scenes to the data and show inside of an image.
Mm-hmm.
So that halfway merges with HTML and it halfway merges with SQL.
Right.
So if we know HTML, AMPscript, and SQL, dude.
Because, I mean, honestly, you think about people that don't know anything about AMPscript and all they do is HTML. One of our students is a perfect example. Worked for Hurley for years, designing emails, creating emails, and making those beautiful wave designs like surfing, making these great emails for swim trunks and, whatever I can't think what else Hurley makes, but yeah, and all he did was HTML. We actually had him in class and he goes, I know a quicker way to do that than what y'all doing. He goes, I'm just gonna do it in the HTML side. He's like, I'm not even worried about that stuff you guys do.
See, that's why I want to be able to do it and be like,
I know.
I have to rely on like a software to do something for me.
Right. You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Like, yeah, I'll set the database up. I know. Because, dude, it was crazy. I was gonna buy Google Chrome, I think it was.
I
was gonna buy Google. No, not Google Chrome. I was gonna buy Gmail or Google Mail.
Okay.
And it was like $6 a month, which isn't bad at all, especially for someone who doesn't really know how to set their domain name servers up and everything like that. It's just really pretty. But when you set up a new, let's say you buy a new domain and you buy it on Bluehost, which is like $2.99 a month for hosting.
Yeah.
It's like, it'll be like, they'll give you a free, email account. They'll give you
Yep.
And so it's like, it's free, but I was going to pay $6.99 a month per user on this Gmail. And I was like, while it's a $6 difference, it's still paid to know that I had unlimited free access to emails from Bluehost.
Yes.
For the behind the scenes stuff,
Absolutely.
So I look at it like that's how
And
I look at all this.
And I've seen you take me into those sections that you've built out there.
Yeah.
I just didn't know your journey started with the realization of I can have Google do it for $6 a head, or I can just go do it on my own.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude. And I heard something crazy the other day from, and this is the last thing I'll say before we get back into this coding, but I heard someone say the other day on a podcast, Alex Hormozy, he has his podcast, and he was talking about how all business is an arbitrage of information. Whoever has more information sells that information, or, because it's like, think about it. Like, let's say I take my car to a mechanic.
Yep.
The mechanic has more information about cars than I do. So the mechanic gets paid. I pay them for their information.
Right.
They just have a leverage of information on me. So like they have more information about that car. So I go to them and I pay. And so like the economy is literally just people who have more information than the other.
Yep.
And then the person who has less pays for it or goes through the pain of learning that skill set.
Learning the hard way.
Mm-hmm. And then they're equal to them.
Absolutely.
So in some things in life, I'm realizing where it pays to be equal. And I think in tech, you got to be equal. Like that's just how I look at it.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like in tech, we got to know this coding stuff.
Yep.
Because once we know this coding stuff, we already use tech so much that we're going to increase our tech usage because we're going to know so much more of the behind the scenes.
And I think me and you had the conversation of it doesn't matter if this in turn becomes us being a skilled coder or not. It's the fact that we can stand in the arena as a consultant, as an admin, as an email specialist, as a developer, and put our 2 cents in of what we understand as the system as a whole. And more than anything, breaking down this language. Next time you go into a developer meeting as a sales consultant or Salesforce consultant, you can go, yeah, I know what you're saying. I got you. Actually, I might have some disagreements with that loop, and I mean, really just blow their minds, right? They expect you to just come in with knowledge on how to move this product, get this product going for a customer, a client, an integration schedule. They don't actually expect you to understand what they're saying, like their actual language. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever catch like some of the YouTube videos where the very traditional American walks into a restaurant and can speak fluent Mandarin and they're like, what? They're just like mind blown by it when he responds with even Mandarin slang, back to the person. And they're just like, and that's what it's like for developers and architects. You have a consultant that comes in and is like, I see exactly what you guys are saying. I need more though. They're going to be like, what? Who is this dude? And not only is it going to earn you respect as a consultant or whatever role you're in, but just having that general knowledge is going to, once again, allow you into that arena to have the conversations that people are having on the back end of development. Yep.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's just equipping us more and more.
For sure. So HTML, we're digging here. We were looking up, what was it? Presentation. Is that the key word we were actually interested in?
For us, it was role presentation.
Role presentation. Info. So what does it say? Does it give us a role? Like why?
I'm trying to find the why abstract. Allows
okay, here we go.
author to annotate XML languages with machine extractable semantic information about the purpose of an element. Use cases include, for accessibility reasons, devices, adapting to different devices like iPads, iPhones, server-side processing, and complex data description. So if you're trying to describe a complex piece of data, this attribute can be integrated into any markup language based upon XHTML modularization. Modularization?
That's a heck of a one right there.
So everything, and that's what I love about coding, is everything has a purpose. Every single word has a purpose.
Yep. Other than your notes.
Yeah.
Other than your
Other than your notes.
other than your personal notes inside of your code. Yeah,
And
I
then
mean, you're creating variables, you're assigning variables, you're telling these variables what to do, what to look up, what to return.
Dude, HTML, at least the basics to be able to create web pages, little forms and stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I just stop presenting that. Let's see. Okay, share my screen. Chrome tab. Okay, so going back to this, so we're talking about the HTML, background color, transparent, minimum width, border top, border right, border bottom. They're all 1 pixel solid, all black. I know FFF is white, and I know 00000 is black.
Okay.
Border left, 0 pixels, class style block.
Content wrapper.
Styling block content wrapper. And then TR is table row.
Yep.
So we're setting the table row in between here and here.
Yep.
And the rows are, and okay, we're given the table, I don't know, TD, style, padding, class. And in the middle of that, we're doing a % lookup AMP from AMP EO3 beams. We're looking up from the AMP EO3 beams data extension the name field on the name field where ID, hold on. What's that? AMP EO3 beams. Right there. Where name ID field, where name AMP EO3 beams, where name, let's look this up again. Lookup AMPscript. The name of the data extension, the name of the column from which to return a value. So the name of the column is the name column. So the name column, go to that data extension, return the name column. And then name of the column used to identify the row containing the lookup value. ID, which is going to be found in, oh yeah, remember. Okay. The name of the column that's used to identify the row, remember that's primary key.
Yep, it's primary key.
And then value to match the string against is the other one.
Yep. Our
Beams
comparison.
So right here would be in Cloud Learner Beams ID.
At row and complete, which we assigned at A. Yep, Beams ID.
Okay, so lookup, and then so we're saying lookup, % lookup. So it's kind of like what I'm seeing here is it's kind of like you can throw in AMPscript in the middle of while you're styling.
While you're styling to return that value that you want inside of your styling.
And that's why I think knowing the combination of AMPscript and HTML, dude.
Right.
Like being able to just throw a value in there like randomly at will and being like, hey, put this in this little square.
Because if you think about it, HTML is just building the borders that we need to put the information in. So we throw the AMPscript in the middle of those borders, and now we have our information populated in a pretty little box.
Huh. It honestly makes me want to just study. Like, honestly, I've had these urges to just study development stuff for like just random times of the day. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I mean, this is an amazing topic.
it really
Amazing
is.
topic, very in depth. And it's for a new learner, this is an amazing journey, man.
It is.
Anybody that watches these videos and stumbles along with us and hears us figuring it out in 1 week as we're pushing forward and being able to read code. I mean, we started with not knowing anything. Yeah, just beating our head against the wall, right? And now we're already taking it to this point.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's the slowly but surely, it's the tortoise wins the race every
Yeah.
time.
Practice makes perfect. And then,
Oh my
as my father would say, perfect practice makes perfect.
Exactly. Exactly. You got to train getting the right habits.
That's right. That's right.
So we have table row, and that's looking up style padding. I don't know what that TD is doing. Table dimensions? I don't know.
It has to be table dimensions or table diameter.
Oh. And then it says earn up to
Table data cell element defines a cell of a table that contains data.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, it makes sense why they're putting a table row.
Yep.
The table cell that's about to hold this.
You got it. Yep.
And this is what it says in that cell. Earn up to percent lookup amp EO3 beams points ID field row incomplete A beams points. Oh,
What'd you figure out?
maybe I didn't figure it out. Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
No, I don't know.
And remember, all we're doing here is defining the field, the row, and bringing in the information we've been collecting from the variables that we created.
Yep.
Yep.
But what I'm looking at here is like you have this end if statement. So let's just look at where everything starts. So you have this code bracket that starts right here.
Right.
Then it stops right here after the for loop and if statement.
Yep. And then we get into our design.
Then we have just plain text that says, don't forget about these beams, but we've done all this work up here.
Yep.
Don't forget about these beams. Bold, that's what that means. And then line break.
Yep.
Line break. So 2 line breaks. And then it goes to this end if. And then it starts designing this cell, this table.
Yep.
Right here. And we start at table right here, the table tag, I guess that's what it's called. Table. And we have table ends down here. So everything in between this table right here is about to be HTML.
Yeah, it's HTML and returning the data that we want from the designation that we set before the don't forget about these beams. So all of that is to just return the beams that they forgot about or they haven't finished or they're incomplete.
Okay,
Yep.
that makes sense. So we put the table together. We style it the way we want it to be styled.
You got it.
And then we do a percent equals lookup.
Yep. So if we look at the final product and what it's supposed to look like, it's going to give us a better idea of what. Yeah.
Okay. What was confusing me was these percents equals. Because I was like, wait a second. I was like, I've never seen, because every time we go over here to lookup, like look at this, lookup rows.
Yeah.
Not every time, but like my brain was getting used to seeing lookup rows or lookup after you've set a variable. So I was getting into the habit of set variable equal to lookup, and then go and do that. But I wasn't getting my brain remembering that, oh, wait, you can look something up, percent equals percent. That's the basic AMPscript function of being able to go and find that value. And that value is going to return back whatever that lookup AMP-EO3 name ID field is going to look up, earn up to lookup such points.
Yep. And then if you look at our BRG sheet for what they want the output to look like, you'll see that these 3 columns represent the class, the points, and the start date. So all we're returning underneath the don't forget about these beams are those 3 pieces of information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so scroll down a little bit more. Here we go. Keep going. Okay, here we are. So we're getting there. Get down just a little bit more, just a pinch. Right there. See at the bottom, don't forget about these beams. So 3 things we're returning, 3 pieces of HTML output we've created.
Oh, gotcha.
You see?
And the resourceful vet said, tear it up. You just tore up that explanation. Hey.
So, I mean, that we can't get lost in the code, because what's our original plan, right? It's to meet the requirements that they're asking of us. So we need to go back to what they want to see as the output. And then we can look at the code and go, okay, these are the 3 things that we're returning to the stakeholders that they want to see in these emails for our people. Yep. For our customers.
Okay, so let's just read through this BRG again.
Yeah, let's do it.
So your leader has shown your amazing work to the business managers, and they're excited with the email so far. So the email we put together is this. The chief loyalty officer asks if you can include a list of courses the learner has started but hasn't completed in the following format on the right. They mentioned that this section of content should only show for learners with incomplete courses. So the objective here is to add some dynamic HTML to produce the required content. Each course in the list should be separated by a 1-pixel black border. I love it. It's crazy because it's like back when I would see the word add some dynamic HTML to produce the required content, I would get so scared. I mean, I know we haven't like mastered HTML yet.
Right.
But like, it's like, okay, what's 30 days going to do to us whenever we are doing this every day?
For 30 days straight.
30 days.
For 30 days straight. So
like,
look at our progress in 1 week.
We can come out, honestly, I think on this rate, I think we can come out of 2023, man, knowing like at
strong.
Least
and remember, so let's not just stop at don't forget about these beams, right? So we've got our first 3 things returned, and then we have a second set because they didn't just forget about 1 beam, they forgot about 2 beams. So remember our original statement. It's going to keep looping until there's nothing else to return, right? Now, remember our 3 as well up in that loop because we want to return 3 things. I'm pretty sure we had that 3, right? So row incomplete, add counter 1. Because originally we had the 3. I think they had us remove it, but.
So yeah, you're saying like it's going to say don't forget about these beams, and if they just have 1, it's
only going to return 1. Yeah, it's going to end the loop.
5, then it's going to go through loop. It's going to go and it's going to find other things that if it matches that criteria, boom, it's going to go find that.
Yep.
Boom is going to find that.
Until there's nothing else left to find in loop.
And it's because they went from for I equals 1 to row count of that specific column that they're looping and looking down.
Absolutely.
It's like, it's almost kind of like one of those little like, if you think about like in those tech movies, like in those high advanced movies, like I'm thinking of The Incredibles for some reason right now.
Yeah.
like they're scrolling through this list of names, and like there's this little red line that is scrolling through all the list of names.
Yes.
And when it finds a match,
yep,
it stops on that and it says red alert, like beep, beep, beep.
Yep, and it pulls it out. So this is a part of the statement that hasn't fulfilled the conditions or has fulfilled the conditions that are required from our search. I know, dude. It's crazy, right? Because, like I said, we complicate things so much. When we demystify them down to just the basic root values of what they are, it's mind-blowing sometimes, man. It's mind-blowing sometimes.
So it's logic to go. It's basically everything we've done so far is basically telling a robot to go and pick something up or to scan for something and pick something out.
Oh, I'm actually going to bust you out here. So you know your example that you always use of the Amazon warehouse, right? All the items in the warehouse.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, dude. We're going into this giant warehouse of items. We're picking the items that meet the conditions we're trying to fulfill, and we're putting them in emails. That's it. That is it, man. Because you use that example all the time. So I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, there's our data. Just flopping around everywhere and random data extensions. You never know what you're actually going to need because you're collecting everything, right? So think of how many pieces of information we collect, and then all of a sudden you get a BRG sheet. They want you to collect certain pieces of this big giant data warehouse. And they want you to fulfill the requirements they've asked of you to pull just that data in out of all that. And that's what we're doing.
We're just basically going and hovering and finding the right.
It's the old claw machine, dude. It's the old claw machine at the arcade that you never win anything from.
Oh my God. Dude.
Yeah.
This is our chance to win.
I mean, that's the most simplistic breakdown of it. Is we're the old claw machine. The boss gives us the quarter, we put it in the machine, and we try to get what the boss needs.
Oh my God.
We're gonna fail a lot, but every once in a while we'll get a very cool plush toy that we don't really need in our life. I'm gonna let the dog out.
All right. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, though. Okay, so that makes sense. So we have that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do then is let's see what his code is. He copies some code. Okay, so he went to like right here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Has a content block, some HTML. We can do a cool little trick. We can actually.
Okay, so he set row incomplete to look up rows, AMP EO3 Cloud Learner beams, and if anyone wants to go to where I'm at, I copied and I'm putting it in the chat, and you can go to this spot. But row incomplete, look up rows, AMP EO3 Cloud Learner beams, go find. Okay, so look up rows. So go to the data extension, find the Cloud Learner ID column, which is making it it's the primary key. And the column you want to find this on in the data extension, Cloud Learner ID. Yep.
Doing some channel sharing here for people that want to watch that don't know how to watch.
And then we have in that same code block, the for statement, the for at A equals 1 to row count of
At
row. Or where's row?
At
think-
row incomplete. Is that where we're at?
What's he saying row?
Where are you at? Where are you at? Okay. So for at A.
In his code.
Oh, got you. 2 row count at row incomplete do.
So you see the for loop, it says inside that row count of row, where's row?
Looking.
That's our timer.
That's our timer.
That's it, man.
All right, man. I guess we're back later today.
Yes, we will be back later on today. We're going to try to knock this out. But hey, man, I really love the flow we're going at because like,
Yeah.
I feel like we're really getting like some, it's sticking. I feel like it's sticking.
Yes.
And I
Traction.
feel like, yeah. And I feel like before we were kind of like just doing it just to get the rhythm and routine of like, okay, let's just write. Like this was me. I was like, let me just write it so I can keep seeing it over and over again. And then maybe some patterns are going to show up.
Right.
Like, I feel like now we've started to really, really slow our roll.
Yep.
And I feel
we've
like
broken down the patterns. Yep.
Yeah, we're breaking down the patterns.
Yep. Instead of memorization, we're doing understanding.
Yes. Best way to put it.
For sure.
All right, man.
All right. MinuteAdmin out.
Everyone, see you later. Thanks
see you
for
soon.
joining us this morning.
Yep. Thanks, Resourceful Vet. Thanks, Josh, as always. Everybody have a great Monday.
See you later.
Take it easy.